Do you guys feel like the Breakfast Club has done enough?
I do.
Right. The Breakfast Club, they've had a run.
For sure.
And I think one person that really, really needs to be saluted, and I'm going to get into what I'm talking about here. This week on the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne and DJ Envy opened up on air to their employers and bosses of how they were a little bit disgruntled, of how they still haven't found that third host. It was supposedly supposed to be just hilarious. She previously posted it, but SaVon's going to play a clip. And as he's looking for that, what I'm going to say is one person that I think needs all the flowers in the world is Angela Yee. I think we saw a lot of think pieces on Angela Yee when they announced a departure.
Did we?
We never needed her anyway. She never fucking spoke. Hey, look, in hindsight, they took a year trying to find a new candidate, trying to fill in that role, and they're still having difficulties doing it. SaVon's going to play the clip, and I just want to know where you guys are at with it.
Nah, I'll play the clip for sure, but just to your point with Angela Yee, it's one of those things like you don't appreciate something until it's not there. And I fell victim to that too. Like, not saying that I didn't think she was needed, because there's been times where she definitely led an interview, and I feel like she got the most out of guests. But I thoroughly believe like she's missed from a consumer standpoint.
Absolutely,
it's definitely like it had to be the three of them. Like the Breakfast Club was what it was because of the like specifically them, not just one girl, like one female call. It's like those specific three.
So because they don't have those specific three anymore, do you guys think they try and disband it, or do they still try to pick up the pieces, right? And just pick up from where they're at right now?
It would be crazy for the Breakfast Club to end here. Like it would be,
I agree
especially when Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy are still here. Like just end it like right now. I feel like that can't happen. Like
that's my point. They have
to figure something out.
That is my Jamie Foxx. That is my comedian point that we were making. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, like don't end here. Don't give up now.
Like granted, I've already seen your best, and I'm not gonna take that away. As a matter of fact, I'm even more appreciative of it now, of how things are, going down, etc. But because you can still do it, you should attempt to. And I'm surprised to kind of still see that vigor out of Charlamagne and DJ Envy. To your point, I thought that they would be at a point where it was like, you know what, if we're having such a difficulty trying to find a new host, man, let's split. But it doesn't really feel that way with them, and I don't blame them. I don't think it should be disbanded.
No. Yeah, not at all. Pierre, you sound like you was about to elaborate.
The weird part about Charlamagne and DJ Envy's conversation about that on air that was weird for me was that it's almost like they were talking about in-house issues on air. Yeah. And then the other side of my mind was like, well, wouldn't they kind of already know or feel weird to do that? Especially since if the suits, quote unquote, or the higher ups would still be making that decision. And then part of me was also like, well, if I'm Jess, right? I know I don't live in New York, which is where the Breakfast Club is broadcasted from. Yeah. For the most part in business, you would think, money is part of the reason why some people might or might not take a job. And like I was saying before, if I'm Jess and I don't live in New York, and you're wanting me to be on air on your show, maybe I might want to try to get a relocation fee. Hair and makeup, I know, is a thing.
Let's listen to the clip to see.
I see where you're coming from up here. Yeah.
You know what I'm so confused by? We spent all last year rotating guest co-hosts, and I thought we was rotating guest co-hosts before we let God decide who was supposed to be in here. Now it's 2024. What happened? Did we just say F it? There's not going to be another co-host?
Well, at first,
I can't take talking to you.
I can't take talking to you either. At first, it's going to be a couple of months, right?
I love that.
No, it never was going to be a couple of months. That was y'all idea. I always said a year.
I thought it was going to be a couple of months.
That's why we don't like you for you to think. I didn't want. I told you this already.
I didn't want to do this for a year. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to just talk to you for a year.
I knew for a year. I was like a year. I said it's going to take at least a year. Because to be, Angela Yee is what I always say. She's irreplaceable. You know what I mean? So it's like the person that's coming in here is not replacing anyone. If there's somebody coming in here, that's my whole point of having this conversation. What the hell happened?
You know everything. You tell me.
A lot of confusion.
This one I'm confused by.
now you confused?
I don't know what the hell is happening. If anything is happening at all.
Dang. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy listening to that again. He was genuinely confused.
Like
he was like, "Yo, what is going on with our show?" Tell.
And you would assume at least those two to kind of know what's going on. Are you guys familiar with Just Hilarious's content in
here? Somewhat. I've definitely tapped in when she's on the Breakfast Club. I've seen her content there. I'm not as familiar with her like online presence, but I do know. Again, going back to we've been talking about comedians. She's one of those comedians who's trying to transition outside of just Instagram and social media and into another phase of her comedy.
I think the host of the Breakfast Club, or at least the role specifically that they're looking for, right? Someone to read the rumor report, give a different POV from the guys. I think that type of person is a person that's not as busy.
Like they have to commit to the Breakfast Club?
Yeah. The person they're looking for is someone in this space who digests everything. If you guys don't know, Just Hilarious does a bunch of comedy tours. She's constantly shaking and moving. She's booked here, she's booked there. And I could definitely, like, when they were doing the whole revolving guest thing, for me, because I do listen to the Breakfast Club. I've always done that. And I still listen to the radio. Hello, I work for it.
As you should.
As I should, absolutely. And yeah, though she was one of the better candidates that they brought up there, I don't think it was ideal as a listener.
You don't think it was a perfect fit?
I don't think it was a perfect marriage. She wasn't as informed as Angela Yee. Not her fault. Just as busy. She's got a bunch of things that she has to be ready for. She's got
and
comedy
Angela Yee
shows.
has been doing this for a decade.
I was gonna say
she's committed.
Literally like recording.
Radio.
She's been doing radio for a very long time.
Someone that's committed their kind of life to it in a certain sense. So I don't think that's going to be an easy task for them to sort of render. And I mean, if you guys had to pick, who would you guys maybe?
I was just about to ask you that.
I'll tell you just a can as you guys are thinking maybe. They brought this young lady up there. You guys might not be familiar with her, but I loved her stuff. Her name was Lauren LaRosa. She's formerly of TMZ, and she was at TMZ for a very long time. And what I liked about Lauren LaRosa was, again, she was able to transition in and out of topics, have a level of wit to it, right? Not completely be lost from what's being spoken about. You know, if I had to give her one like demerit, it would just be how she was when they were interviewing guests. But again, that's something you learn over time.
How was she? Was she like not as active?
I think she was looking for more of her point, like her positioning. Envy and Charlamagne know how they go into
that's
every
what I was
interview
about to bring up. It's like they've been doing this together, and they also know how they are when a guest is in the room. So I guess with like more practice, if that's your only like critique of her, that sounds promising.
How do you fix the Breakfast Club? I'm listening to you. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna double down and say Lauren was really good. She was really good also.
You caught some of her stuff, right?
Yeah. I like how she gave the not the T report, the
rumor report.
Yeah,
she even got into beef with one of them ladies. It was just good to see like three people in the Breakfast Club setting trying to click again. Right. And at least they're trying. And again, we've been talking about rekindling what you've done in the past and knowing when to step away all episodes today. Right. So if the Breakfast Club does need to be fixed, how does it get fixed? What do you guys think? You know,
I don't know if it could get like. Fixed is like a weird word because it's like it'll never be the same. So trying to think about like, how could you fix it? But it can never. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't have a good person to recommend. But I just want to say, Nyla Simone, I love you.
We love Nyla.
She does an amazing job whenever she's on the mic, and she's pretty. So that's all I have to say. But for a perfect person as a third host, I don't know. I can't even imagine it, honestly. Like
I'm gonna be honest, and it's probably a little bit biased, but I feel there's a few components, right? And if we're being honest, aesthetics is everything, you know, equality and just make for real. Like, I hate to like box out the niggas. Like the nigga, it can't be another nigga on that show. It can't be another guy.
Okay.
No. But
that would be a train wreck. No,
it would be a lot. It would be a lot. You need a little bit of
energy,
balance.
the boys' club energy.
You need a little bit of balance. But what I will say, when it goes to some of the people that I have heard, I enjoyed Jason Lee up there in certain spots.
Gotcha. Jason Lee of Hollywood Unlocked.
I did see comments saying Jason Lee was a good match.
I enjoyed Jason Lee in that spot for a few reasons. One, he has a background in radio, media. Obviously, he has Hollywood Unlocked. You know, I know Angela Yee. She was like the industry insider, although all of them was in the industry. She served as that a lot of the time. He has a rapport with artists. He understands how to interview and talk to artists. And picking your spots in that moment, I think, is dope. Also, I think, you know, Charlamagne is progressing as a broadcaster, as a businessman, as a personality. Yeah. He can't be the quote-unquote shooter all the time. He doesn't want to be. He's phasing out of it.
Yes.
DJ Envy has never been that type of personality. He's the guy who guides the ship. He's the guy who, you know, he stands on who he is, but he's never been the person for like the wild takes or the takes that other people are afraid to say. Charlamagne has been in the past. So I think they definitely need somebody who is willing to do it. Again, not being a shock jock, not somebody who's trying to steal the spotlight from the other guys or just say things to say it. I think there needs to be a little bit of
just bring a little spice,
organicness to who you are. Yeah, just bring a little bit of that.
Yes.
And so I think Jason Lee for that purpose would fit. But again, from an aesthetic standpoint, I don't know how marketable that is. Having three men like, hey, we're the Breakfast Club, right? Like you kind of need that balance. For that, I understand Just Hilarious. I do like Nyla, but I'm going to be 1,000% honest. And a year ago, when I heard about this guest rotation, I was super excited, super happy because I thought it was going to happen. But for whatever reason, maybe it didn't. But I think Mandy B would be perfect.
Should be a strong
voice.
To
at least give a shot.
Should be a strong voice.
Like, I don't know. I don't want to like just give her the position.
Yeah.
But I would love to see her get a fair shot at doing that.
I like that. I like that. Because you need someone that sort of has the proclivity to constantly just be themselves, right?
Facts.
When you look at radio a lot of the time, because I do this too, you got producers that are helping produce these shows. And you can tell a lot of those guests that they had, and salute to them. They all did amazing job. You feel me? They're all great in what they do. But you could tell when they was just reading from what the producer wrote on that little paper.
It was tough.
It was tough.
It was a long day for some of them guest niggas in there. I'm like, God damn.
Them niggas saw words they never seen before in that paper. You understand? You feel what I'm saying?
Shout out to the producers.
I'm a producer, so I know how it get. Them motherfuckers is like, what word is that?
Who is that?
Who is that?
They don't even know who they talking about.
Right. You sort of need someone that has their own personality outside of the paper.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not mad at those types of options.
For sure.
I want to see where this ends up, you know, for real. They look, because Charlamagne and Envy, they seem a little bit fed up.
They do. And I can imagine.
I mean, judging from that clip, they were just like, they had to say it on air because they were so like,
annoyed.
Really, they were unsatisfied.
But if I had a vote, I definitely want to see Mandy get a shot.
You've said this before.
I feel like I have said it anytime it comes up because I think she fits. She has a rapport with Charlamagne.
Strong voice.
Strong voice, strong opinions.
Used to talking on air and stuff.
Right or wrong, she stands on what she stands on. She knows how to interview people.
Yeah.
She understands the climate of the culture, the comment. Obviously, she showed her diversity with See the Thing Is and Horrible Decisions.
Right.
She could speak to a multitude of things. High energy, like she's from the South, so she's not from New York necessarily. I think that's why Charlamagne really excelled once he got to New York because he brought him here. He didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think there's a lot of good reasons that Mandy would be a dope person to just see in that seat. If she wanted it. I don't even know if Mandy wants that shit.
That's dope.
Somebody clip this and send it to them.
Nah, that would be fire. Like, that's who I would want to see. And honestly, Mandy B, Jason Lee, they like cousins and shit. Like, they look like it. Like, I can see them giving it up the same way. Like, they interchangeable. It's just one got a dick, one got a pussy. So
oh my goodness gracious.
Get the role.
Wait, are they actually like
No, they're not related. I don't know their relationship at all, but I can see, like, you can swap them out and get a similar product in that environment, I think.
Let's get into the jokes, yo. When your employer posts a new job posting while you auditioning for the job, you probably not gonna get that job, twin.
Yeah, that's tough.
Okay. You're like,
didn't that happen during Envy scandal though?
It did.
Yeah.
It did, and a lot of people were probably assuming it was for Envy, when in actuality,
but they're like, no, we're still looking. We're still looking. Yeah, okay. Damn.
That shit sucks, yo. Just done posted that. She posted on her. See, that's why I don't talk too early no more, man.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Listen,
that's the same.
I only talk once it's done.
Yeah, why did she? I'm just confused. Like, I saw Just Hilarious say that she, got the role and stuff prematurely, which is what Charlamagne and Envy are literally making known.
Yeah.
So I'm just confused. Like, why did she say that? Like, was she promised it or what? Like,
well, as a as a subtle Breakfast Club listener, they were kind of hinting for a couple months now. Because, after they went through about 6 or 7 months of different people, they were going back to the people that they actually liked. So, like process of, like a process of elimination type thing. Yeah. That's when I got more familiar with Lauren LaRosa. Because she was original guest. They brought her back. Okay, cool. She kind of fits in here. Just hilarious, of course. They brought her back. So, that's kind of how that went down in that way. So, man, make sure you got the job till you post that shit, man.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.